What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again, and we are finally going to be discussing Lucifer on Netflix, Season 5, Part 2. Finally was able to watch it, finally was able to just enjoy it. Now, if you guys have not watched the second half of Season 5, I do highly recommend you do. Now, again, going to be going in a high spoiler territory. There's been a lot of spoilers online. I've been trying to stay away from that myself. So again, if you guys do not want to be spoiled, I do highly recommend you guys go check out the season, then come back and then listen to this and then give me your thoughts on the season. But overall, the second half of the season was very interesting, to say the least. Now, I will say that in the entirety of the season, or the second half of the season, I should say, that what happened I was not expecting by no means. Because seeing God return and kind of want the normal life in a way, because he wanted to return to enjoy his time with his sons, his family, and he was unable to do so. And then finally, Lucifer and him have their issues. They get it worked out, and of course they go through the normal father and son thing. And then what we see is, after the issue with Michael, God banishes him from Earth, and he wants to again make peace with Lucifer. But again, Lucifer being Lucifer, he wants him to go away. Then slowly realizes that God may be losing his power / another issue with him, and they go through this menage of trying to figure out, like, okay, is there something wrong with him? He may need a successor. Who's it going to be? Obviously, it's probably going to be a meta deal. Then it goes back to Lucifer. And then the season, Lucifer wants to become God, obviously, so he can become worthy of Chloe finally. And that is the reason why he wants to do this. And then we see also, of course, Michael's wanting to be God just so he can do whatever the hell he wants. Then we also go into a lot of things that was shown in this season, which was very interesting. Ella, of course, she had her issues after, of course, dating someone that was a killer. So she got into a real dark depression area where she felt like all she was attracted to was dark and very stereotypic killers. And then we also see, of course, Chloe and Lucifer's relationship being on the rocks off and on throughout the season, to where she doesn't know how to feel with the relationship. She doesn't know what to do. Lucifer, they're going back and forth, and they finally get to a place where they can actually enjoy, to be like, hey, we're going to give this a shot no matter what. Because Lucifer finally is like, okay, no matter what, I want to be with Chloe, so I'm actually going to try, and I'm just going to do it. And she does the same thing. And then we also see a little bit with Chloe and Dan's daughter, that she actually starts having massive resentment towards Lucifer, leaving her the way he did, leaving her mom, and being very angry with him about that, and seeing her, in a lot of pain. And it's really interesting to see this, because again, we're seeing a lot from Trixie now, growing as a character, and that's also very interesting to see as well. I mean, in my opinion. Now, we also could see a huge development for the God character, him actually knowing what it's like to be on Earth, to actually know what it's like to deal with the actions of, if you put someone in danger, he sees this. And there was a lot of different cameos in this season. Debbie Gibson, Rob Benedict. There was a lot of different ones in this season. It was really interesting. Seeing also Dennis Haysbert was interesting as well. Trisha Helfer returned. We got to see the one played Eve return. So it was really interesting to see if a lot of these familiar faces return, because Eve finally returned. She became a bounty hunter. She finds Maze, and they want to try to work things out. But unfortunately, Maze does not want to lose her, so she tries to give Eve's ring to her. She doesn't want to keep it because she actually wants to live a normal human life. And from what we gather from God, him stating to Maze that that a demon could possibly grow a soul. So she is trying to still deal with her emotions on that, and we finally do see her end up with Eve, which was, I would say, relatively going to happen. And we also see a lot of turmoil in this season as well, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But we do see an episode, what we did see in the trailer, where Linda got arrested because she was trying to protect her daughter that know nothing about her. So in this one particular episode, we will see a reuniting of her and her daughter. Finally, realizing, that we do figure out that, she figured out that was her mother during the auction house scene, which later gets revealed. We do get a musical in this season, which was kind of silly, but it was funny, and it kind of fit the narrative because God wanted a musical, and we show the way God is not very good with dealing with his emotions or being able to show anything because of him being God. And it was almost the same thing dealing with and I gotta bring this up, seeing again, very incredible, seeing a lot of different individuals come into this part of the season, and we finally got to see another familiar face. Again, if you're a fan of Supernatural, Rob Benedict coming in, aka Chuck God on Supernatural, being a mercenary in Lucifer, was very interesting. Even though the episode was very dramatic, which I'm going to get into here in a few minutes, it was still intense to see him coming to play as a character like this. Because again, if you watch Supernatural, you know he played God in there, and then Trisha Helfer coming back, because she had her own universe, and Lucifer put in a deal with Gabriel to go get her and try to have peace between the family, and God decided to leave with her and basically have the angels choose who to be the next God, who would be the next successor. And Mayadale does not want to no longer become God because he wants to be a father, he wants to be a friend, he wants to be a good person. Lucifer, he wants to do it because, of course, for Chloe, but then there is a death in this season. Well, actually 3 deaths. Now, again, going into more spoiler territory. Unfortunately, we do lose Dan in the episodes of the last of the season. He gets caught into the mercenary issue because of them being hired through Michael to go after the chain that Amenadiel wore to handle the sword, because the sword of Azrael went through the portal with their mom, and when they do bring it back, Gabriel gave it to Michael, and then of course that the kid that Amenadiel was trying to help, he buried his necklace there, and someone found it, grabbed it, so he had superhuman strength of an angel, and that is where this episode takes place. But we do lose Dan. We find out that he does go to hell, unfortunately, because of all his guilt with everything that he's been through in all the past seasons. Amenadiel finds this out, so again, Lucifer wants to be able to become God now, to be able to, of course, rescue Dan from hell, and then now he's got more issues of a vote of who the angels want to be in charge, Michael or Lucifer. In the very last episode, we see the inevitable of the war between Lucifer and Michael, and after some stalling and other issues, they're able to almost have this massive battle. But we see a one-on-one scenario between Michael and Lucifer, and right when it seems that it's going Lucifer's way, Chloe helps Lucifer, but then unfortunately she dies by the hands of Michael, and Lucifer gives himself up for Chloe, going into heaven, even though he's banned, having Lilith's ring save him for only a period of time, and being able to get her out by sacrificing himself. And then when Chloe comes back, she's able to have Amenadiel's ring, be able to literally beat the crap out of Michael. And as soon as she's about ready to kill him, Lucifer comes back somehow, saying this ain't you, and he takes the title of God. And we see him at the very end, everybody's bowing to him, and we see where he's like, okay, what do I do now? Because he made a deal with Maze that if he becomes God, she becomes the new queen of hell. And he also made a deal that he does not want to kill no more angels. He's trying to become better. And he also wants to try to rescue Dan from hell. And he found out from another soul that he did help while he was in hell, that if you face your guilt, then you can come to heaven. Because a person that he helped in hell that faced his guilt was able to come to heaven after dealing with his guilt in hell. So we have a lot of character progression, not only from Lucifer, and then there's a big possibility that Amenadiel is going to want to try to become a cop because of Dan now dying, and he did tell him that he was thinking about wanting to become a cop while he was on Earth, and him and Dan didn't really agree with it, but that was before Dan died. And then now we got where Trixie is going to have to deal with being without a father, and we're going to be seeing Eve and Maze together as well, and also seeing, of course, Lucifer being the so-called new god. So there's a lot of new things in here about, is he going to have a new face, he's going to have new powers, how is it going to be now since he's going to be the new god. And of course, with the very last season coming upon us very soon, I got to give it Tom Ellis being able to play 2 roles in the entire season on and off, but he did a magnificent job. The entire cast did a magnificent job of portraying these roles. I really enjoyed myself with this season. I think I enjoyed the second half more because it was less Michael, because again, it really made you hate Michael in the entirety of the season, and that was the point. So I think Tom Ellis did a very good job portraying a very character that you just wanted to hate so badly, because again, with Lucifer being the main character and wanting to love Lucifer, and just, you know, how he can be charismatic, very comical, very spiteful, and just all the things that we like about this character. And then we see another character that's very opposite. Obviously, we're going to hate him. So I think he did a very good job with that. And then, of course, seeing what the possibilities are with also Ella. You know, her may find out very soon, of course, about Celestials. Maybe she'll find out that Lucifer is an angel, or the new god, so to speak, now. And also, of course, now God and his wife now going to her universe to rule together. And also, how's the, you know, the thing's going to be with Mazikeen possibly going to be the new Queen of Hell, and Chloe coming back now that she's died. And, you know, is Trixie going to find out about Celestials? You know, all these different questions that they leave at the very end of the season, and people feel like, I think there was a very wasteful scenes of Ella, and I firmly agree that I think it's about time they bring Ella into the fold to show her, especially with her faith, that there are angels and other celestial beings walking among us. So I think it'd be very interesting to see her finally know, possibly early on in the season, hey, guess what, maybe it's time I finally show you. And I think they may do that after a certain period of time. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. Hopefully they do, because now everyone knows. Dan knew, Linda knows, of course, you know, Eve knows, obviously Maze, Chloe knows now. So there's a lot of characters that did not know that now know. But it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen further on in the very last season. But I enjoyed the part 2 of season 5. Hopefully you guys did too. If you guys did, let me know your thoughts about it down in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for the support. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like. It'd help out greatly against the algorithm. Also click notifications so you guys are notified every time I upload. And also subscribe if you guys enjoy the content on the channel. But once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you guys on the very next one.